On the rooftop, Chu Ching and his close friends were chatting. Joe Buquin complained that Chu Ching was bad-mouthing him everywhere, while Fei joined in, demanding to lock him in the bathroom for a lesson. Chu Ching calmly replied, believing Li Yaowei was not worth him playing dirty behind his back. He blamed Tang Ziyan's mother as the cause of all the trouble. A friend in the group happily reported to Chu Ching that they had practiced according to his exercises without any side effects. Chu Ching smiled and told them to just follow his instructions and everything would be fine, no need to worry. When checking a friend's pulse, Chu Ching realized he had reached the 5th level in internal cultivation. Another student was checked next. Chu Ching confirmed he had reached the 6th level, causing another friend to sigh because he was only at the 3rd level. Seeing this, Chu Ching patted his shoulder to comfort him, saying cultivation depends on talent and cannot be forced. Chu Ching then took out a bright yellow item, calling it New Spirit, a spiritual energy that supports cultivation and enhances endurance. The whole group cheered happily when given the spiritual energy, collectively thanking boss Chu Ching with joyful faces. Looking at his happy friends, Chu Ching thought his training method suited men who are physically inclined, but progress still somewhat depended on individual luck. Chu Ching quietly jumped down into the quiet garden behind the school, looking for a hidden corner to rest. Lying among the green leaves, Chu Ching pondered about the future and the possibility of immortality in the current world. In a vague flashback, images of his loved ones from friends to family appeared. He wondered, could I leave them all behind? The image of Gong Yue with her curly blonde hair and sharp smile suddenly appeared in his mind, reminding Chu Ching of the dangerous situation she once faced. The scene shifted to the school cafeteria. The sky was clear and peaceful, contrasting with Chu Ching's heavy thoughts. A tray full of food was placed on the table, spaghetti, ice cream, fried chicken, and pastries, signaling the meal was about to begin. A short brown-haired girl, name unknown, approached the table of Chu Ching and Xiao Wu, angrily declaring she had just found someone she hated even more than Chu Ching. The girl mentioned was none other than Tang Ziyan, walking with Li Yaowei, a newly appeared boy with short purple hair who seemed deeply infatuated with Ziyan. Tang Ziyan asked Li Yaowei what he wanted to eat. She maintained a cold but polite demeanor. Li Yaowei replied with a romantic line, "Whatever you eat, I'll eat that." Tang Ziyan immediately showed annoyance and impatience. Tang Ziyan and the purple-haired boy carried their trays and walked toward the table where Chu Ching was sitting. The purple-haired boy hesitated and suggested sitting elsewhere, but Tang Ziyan firmly chose that spot because she liked it. The three sitting together created a tense atmosphere. The purple-haired boy showed discomfort, surrounded by a dense purple murderous aura. The gray-haired friend, who was still sitting at the table, was pulled up by the orange-haired girl, his face showing confusion. The orange-haired girl bluntly said, "A three-way war is about to break out. Why are you still sitting there?" Then pulled her friend away. Chu Ching smiled softly and gently told Tang Ziyan that he was full and ready to leave. Tang Ziyan suddenly turned back, smiling dangerously, and asked, "Really?" Chu Ching broke into a sweat and hurriedly denied. "Lying, just lying." The purple-haired boy sat alone, looking annoyed, gritting his teeth as he endured being ignored. Trying to break the atmosphere, he complained that the rice was too dry and asked Tang Ziyan if it was steamed rice. In Chu Ching's mind, the name Ziyan was repeatedly called by both the purple-haired boy and Tang Ziyan. He was stunned, not knowing how to react. Chu Ching was surprised by Tang Ziyan's patience with the purple-haired boy. He frankly said that if it were him, he would have acted long ago. Without hesitation, Chu Ching asked for a piece of meat from Tang Ziyan's tray. She casually agreed, showing a friendly attitude. The purple-haired boy, named Tao Yuna, was angry to see the intimate scene between Chu Ching and Ziyan, his eyes blazing with fury. Tao Yuna immediately acted spoiled with Ziyan, demanding that she feed him too, just like Chu Ching. Although Tang Ziyan appeared cold, she still picked up her chopsticks to feed him, while Chu Ching looked on with an incredulous expression. Tao Yuna was delighted to be fed by Ziyan, surrounded by flying pink hearts. Chu Ching teased Tao Yuna that he didn't like pork, causing Tao Yuna to freeze in shock at being exposed. Immediately, Tao Yuna vomited a rainbow due to disgust, shocking everyone at the table. Ziyan pinched her nose because she couldn't stand the smell, while Tao Yuna tearfully accused Chu Ching of causing the trouble. Tang Ziyan couldn't take it anymore. She stood up and declared she was going to the bathroom to avoid the chaotic atmosphere. Tao Yuna suddenly loudly warned the male lead to stay away from Tang Ziyan, believing she was possessed. The male lead calmly sat back, sarcastically replying that last time he didn't fight because he was lucky, but this time would be different. As soon as Tang Ziyan returned, the male lead immediately changed his tone and cheerfully called her, "You're back, let's go." Tao Yuna immediately started crying, accusing the male lead of insulting him and saying he wasn't worthy of Ziyan, even suggesting they break up. But when Tao Yuna turned to prove it, Tang Ziyan's seat was empty, leaving him stunned. "Huh." The male lead suppressed a laugh as he looked at Tao Yuna's flushed angry face and shouted furiously, "How dare you lie to me?" He casually mocked. If Tang Ziyan married you, the Tang family would be doomed. Chu Qing was astonished to see that his friend Tao Yunao had endured others for so long. If it were him, he would have fought long ago. Chu Qing innocently asked for a piece of meat from Tang Ziyan's food tray. She did not object and allowed it. Tao Yunao sat opposite, so furious that smoke seemed to rise when he saw the intimacy between the two. Tao Yunao suddenly switched to a coaxing tone, demanding Tang Ziyan feed him just like Chu Qing. Tang Ziyan looked helpless but still handed chopsticks to Tao Yunao. Chu Qing could only be stunned. Tao Yunao happily enjoyed being fed by Tang Ziyan, his heart soaring in a sky full of pink hearts. Chu Qing reminded Tao Yunao that he originally did not like pork. The words struck Tao Yunao like lightning. Immediately after, Tao Yunao vomited a rainbow onto the table. Chu Qing was alarmed while Tang Ziyan covered her mouth and moved away. Tang Ziyan held her stomach, unable to stop laughing, while Tao Yunao cried, accusing Chu Qing of bothering him. Unable to bear it any longer, Tang Ziyan hurried to the bathroom, leaving chaos behind. Tang Ziyan smiled mischievously, declaring that since Chu Qing was her official boyfriend, it was his responsibility to chase away those pursuing her. Chu Qing acted coldly, sarcastically saying she should just let that thing keep following her. Ziyan tried to provoke jealousy, but Chu Qing responded indifferently that it only made him happy. She angrily called him a heartless person. The scene shifted to another place, a gloomy warehouse where two mysterious figures were plotting something full of schemes. A masked figure showed clear hatred, opened a suitcase containing a photo of Chu Qing, and declared he wanted to kill him. He gritted his teeth, saying Chu Qing must die in the most painful and miserable way. On Chu Qing's phone appeared a message from Meng Zui, a purple-haired woman, calling him to the Drunken Dream bar. Chu Qing realized it was highly likely his sister had been captured by Meng Zui again, his face full of worry. A series of questions came from relatives on the phone, making Chu Qing hastily answer that nothing was wrong, hiding his emotions. Chu Qing stepped out of the house with a pensive expression, thinking about Meng Zui's upcoming actions, who might have broken the agreement and taken his sister hostage. Chu Qing sat in the car, his gaze thoughtful, unaware that danger was approaching. A premonition warned him. Chu Qing immediately sensed a murderous intent aimed at him. A sudden beam of light shot straight into the car, throwing Chu Qing off the driver's seat in an instant. His body was thrown into the air, blood splattered everywhere, signs that an assassination had truly occurred. Chu Qing reacted quickly, channeling his energy just in time before the terrible explosion happened right behind him. The car exploded violently, flames rising in torrents, the scene turning chaotic. Chu Qing landed safely on the ground. His steady legs showed he was still alive. He stood amid the sea of fire, his whole body radiating fierce energy. A surge of immense power rose within him. Chu Qing's eyes were sharp and cold. He not only survived but was ready to fight back. At the scene, a crowd gathered. Chu Qing calmly left while firefighters extinguished the fire. He called to report there was an explosion in the school parking lot. 3 male students at school, including one subordinate of Chu Qing, walked briskly while discussing the recent explosion. One complained that the blast was so loud it made his ears ring and would surely make front-page news tomorrow. Inside the car, Chu Qing seriously called. The exploding car was his. Someone tried to kill him, and he needed to check surveillance cameras to find the culprit. The subordinate student confirmed with Chu Qing over the phone in panic. After learning he was safe, he immediately took on the investigation task, promising to provide information quickly. Chu Qing arrived in front of a skyscraper under the night sky. He looked up at the place he was about to enter with a determined expression. With a serious face, Chu Qing reasoned, "It can't be someone from Meng Zui who caused the explosion. She is not the type to use such dirty tricks." The elevator stopped on the 67th floor. Chu Qing stepped into a luxurious room where a long brown-haired woman was sitting, drinking tea, waiting for him. Chu Qing approached and asked directly, "Did you call me for something?" Meng Zui did not answer immediately but raised her teacup with magical power, smiling teasingly. "Why do you look so angry? Have some tea to calm down first." Chu Qing frowned, looking at the teacup floating in front of him with caution. Chu Qing thought silently. Just a few days apart, she has become much stronger. Not wanting to be outdone, Chu Qing summoned a glowing green skull-shaped energy from his hand. He took a deep breath, calmly absorbing the energy into his mouth. A leaf floated onto his lips. Chu Qing smiled confidently, his sharp eyes ready for battle. Just after swallowing the pill containing spiritual power, Chu Qing was suddenly attacked by a powerful strike flying from the front. The attacker was the long brown-haired girl with curled hair, wearing a tight purple dress, Gong Yue, who possessed strong inner strength and extremely quick reflexes. She launched a decisive strike that shook the air. Chu Qing angrily shouted at Gong Yue, asking why she was looking for him and demanding she state her purpose clearly. Gong Yue smiled wickedly, declaring that she wanted Chu Qing to become her pet. She offered to protect him in the future on the condition that he obediently listened to her and stayed by her side. Unfazed, Chu Qing turned his back coldly and replied, "Not interested," then walked straight toward the door as if nothing had happened. Gong Yue suddenly shouted loudly, "Stop!" her voice full of authority and anger, refusing to be ignored. Chu Qing immediately stopped, his body filled with killing intent and inner strength, ready for any confrontation if necessary. Gong Yue immediately charged from behind, delivering a powerful strike with her sleeve filled with purple inner energy, creating a pressure zone that distorted the space. Without hesitation, she closed in further, reaching out to grab Chu Qing with overwhelming strength, clearly showing her intent to force him. Chu Qing was grabbed by the collar, his face contorted from the sudden and fierce strength of Gong Yue. The situation was gradually getting out of control. Meng Zui smiled mysteriously, her eyes cunning as if she already held victory in her hands. Without giving Chu Qing time to react, she threw a powerful punch that sent him flying into the air. Chu Qing's shirt was torn apart. Meng Zui held onto the remaining piece of fabric as a trophy. Meng Zui glanced at Chu Qing's bare torso, both praising and teasing. "You've gotten stronger, and your skin looks better too." Meng Zui swung her arm again. She had no intention of stopping yet. Pieces of Chu Qing's torn shirt scattered on the floor, showing how fierce the fight had been. Meng Zui crouched down to dodge a strike, while Chu Qing launched a powerful counterattack from midair. Chu Qing stood firm amid dust and light, his expression cold, muscles clearly visible. He pointed at Meng Zui and shouted an accusation. "You never intend to say anything serious. You're just hot-tempered and looking for men." Meng Zui stepped closer, her finger lightly touching Chu Qing's chin, smiling provocatively. "So what?" Chu Qing held the long-haired girl tightly and said reproachfully, "Why didn't you just say it straight from the start?" The long-haired girl laughed seductively, her eyes sparkling with hidden meaning, not denying but looking at Chu Qing provocatively. Her soft hand gently pushed Chu Qing, more as a guiding gesture than a refusal. She sat on Chu Qing's lap, pressing close to his body. Their eyes met in a moment full of subtlety. Both were immersed in a passionate moment, their bodies almost merging into one under the dim light. The long-haired girl lay on the bed, smiling contentedly. "Kid, you're very proactive. I like you already." Chu Qing and the long-haired girl embraced tenderly on the bed, the scene filled with intimacy and relaxation. She whispered, "Be my pet. I will keep the sword and take care of you. Can you tell me the secret of that sword?" Chu Qing smiled mischievously, replying softly, "If I accidentally do something to make you angry, will you forgive me?" The girl smiled brightly, her eyes sparkling. "How could I be mad at you? Hurry and show me the sword." While they were still close on the bed, Chu Qing leaned over with a sly smile. He said to the long-haired girl, "Don't worry, I'll show you something, but you mustn't get angry, okay?" The girl tilted her head curiously and asked, "Oh, what is it?" Chu Qing smiled mischievously, reassuring the sexy long-haired girl that he would show her something, but she must not get angry. The curious girl responded, her eyes bright with anticipation, asking what he intended to do. Chu Qing raised his middle finger with a provocative smile. The girl was so shocked she was speechless, her whole body trembling slightly from anger and embarrassment, her expression turning to fury. A dazzling golden explosion erupted in the night. The girl's angry scream echoed. "How dare you!" Chu Qing was thrown out of the building, wearing only underwear, flying through the night with a wound on his leg. He stopped midair, turned his head to look back at the place he had been thrown from. The girl still stood amid the rubble, full of fierce spirit. The girl shouted angrily, asking Chu Qing if he was seeking death, her eyes filled with murderous intent. Chu Qing kept a playful look, saying that because she was angry, the agreement is void, and he was officially saying goodbye. The girl gritted her teeth in anger, calling Chu Qing's name with hatred, swearing that he must die. Chu Qing stepped out of the restroom, called his subordinate. "Have you found the person who planted the bomb in my car yet?" Outside, a group of male students in uniform reported. "That person acted under Li Yaowei's orders." The leader continued with information. "We have also traced Li Yaowei's location. He will meet someone at Jinmen Airport at 10:30 tonight." Chu Qing immediately ended the call, his eyes darkening as if calculating his next move. He tightened his grip on the phone, growling the enemy's name, Li Yaowei. Night fell, the streets were sparse and quiet, creating a tense atmosphere before the upcoming confrontation. Chu Qing approached the car parked by the roadside. Something made him stop, his eyes slightly startled. From the car, a purple-haired girl stepped out. Her gaze was sharp, her aura cold. This was a new character, identity unknown. The girl looked straight at Chu Qing, pressing, "Are you going to kill Li Yaowei?" Chu Qing responded coldly, "Are you trying to stop me?" The purple-haired girl, Yi Chengxi, tried to persuade Chu Qing to calm down. She emphasized that Li Yaowei is the son of the head of the Li family, and if he kills him, Chu Qing will face big trouble. Chu Qing angrily retorted. He asked back, "Should I just let him kill over and over again?" Yi Chengxi was also angry but still advised against it. She said she didn't want to stop Chu Qing, but the time was not right. When the time comes, she promised to avenge him. Chu Qing refused. He exposed the truth that the Li family colluded with the Quanjin sect to take over Jinmen and is currently suppressing the Yi family. He growled, "When will the time come when the Yi family is wiped out?" Yi Chengxi admitted that because she knew Chu Qing had ties to the Yi family. She had hidden this from him from the start. Chu Qing replied decisively, "This has nothing to do with the Yi family." He declared that he himself is the time, implying that his actions are the beginning of change. Yi Chengxi asked anxiously, "Chu Qing, have you ever thought about the consequences of killing Li Yaowei? The Li family will go mad, retaliate against the Yi family and your own." Chu Qing affirmed that everything has been arranged properly. He asked Yi Chengxi to let go because she cannot stop him. Yi Chengxi looked at Chu Qing emotionally. She promised, "For you, I will not let anyone kill the Yi family." Chu Qing turned and left without looking back. He smiled and said, "You care about me, I'm very happy." Tang Ziyan shouted angrily, questioning Chu Qing's true purpose. "Do you want to use the Yi family's power to reach the top, or is it just because of Yi Chengxi?" Chu Qing stopped, gently replied, "Whether it's the Yi family or Yi Chengxi, in my heart, you are the most important." Tang Ziyan was stunned. Her cheeks flushed pink from surprise and moved by that sincere confession. Chu Qing continued walking, recalling the things he had recently discovered. It was because of Li Yaowei's anxiety that he revealed his true scheme, causing a series of continuous troubles. A surge of energy emitted from Chu Qing's hand, accompanied by determination. "Today, whether it's you or the Yi family, no one can stop me." Chu Qing drew his sword, his eyes cold and sharp. "What I want is a sword strong enough to cut through everything. I want my people to be able to live freely and happily." He looked back, his voice firm. "If at this point you still don't understand me, then there's nothing more to say." Tang Ziyan stood silently, her eyes full of conflict and pain, watching Chu Qing in silence. Chu Qing turned his back and left, holding the sword that radiated a bright golden light, leaving Tang Ziyan standing quietly in the night stirred by the wind and falling leaves. Chu Qing faced a stranger who had just appeared. His gaze was calm, ready for any situation. A new girl appeared, long black hair, yellow eyes, wearing a red jacket and a short plaid skirt, looking alluring yet sharp. She stepped out of a white car with a purposeful look. Chu Qing looked straight at Yi Chengxi and asked with determination, "Are you also planning to stop me?" Yi Chengxi smiled, admitting that she came because her mother forced her, but it seemed she had her own plans. Suddenly, she pulled out a grenade, an action that made the situation unpredictable. Yi Chengxi clearly expressed her intention to accompany Chu Qing, affirming that she would eliminate Li Yaowei, the one who dared to kill him. Chu Qing smiled lightly, calling her a silly girl and mentioning the powerful force behind the Li family, the Quanjin sect, but admitted, "As long as I have you, I fear nothing." Chu Qing anxiously asked if she wasn't afraid of being scolded or disowned by her mother. Yi Chengxi ignored him and urged him to hurry before her mother caught them. As the two were about to leave, Yi Chengxi suddenly grabbed Chu Qing's hand and shouted loudly, "Don't go." Yi Chengxi's mother, a woman with black hair tied high, wearing a powerful black-fitted dress, appeared. Yi Chengxi nervously whispered, "Mother." Yi Qingmei, Yi Chengxi's mother, stood before Chu Qing, acknowledging the favor he had done for the Yi family and promising to repay it, but affirmed that this was not the right time. Chu Qing disregarded the repayment. He only hoped she wouldn't interfere because he believed he was strong enough to handle everything with the Li and Tang families. He asserted, one day, all of Jinmen would have to respect the Yi family. Chu Qing's decisive words made a newly appeared woman, with purple hair styled high and dressed luxuriously, laugh contemptuously. She was Yi Chengxi's mother. Chu Qing faced Yi Chengxi and her mother. He stood firm, his gaze unwavering in front of such a powerful presence as Mrs. Yi. Yi Chengxi looked at her mother with a troubled gaze, whispering that her mother had truly come, and what she feared had become reality. Chu Qing did not back down, declaring that tonight would be the night Li Yaowei's life ended, no matter how strong his backing was. Yi Chengxi's mother sarcastically told Chu Qing, only if he lived to see tomorrow's sun should he say such grand words. Chu Qing smiled faintly, retreated calmly, saying they could continue the conversation tomorrow. Now he had more important matters to attend to. Yi Chengxi's mother narrowed her eyes angrily. Chu Qing's arrogance was intolerable, and a murderous aura began to spread. Unable to keep calm, she launched an attack, shouting angrily that if Chu Qing dared to leave before she finished speaking, he was seeking death. When the purple-haired woman tried to attack Chu Qing, Yi Qingmei suddenly intervened, striking her back with a palm strike, causing a fierce burst of light. Yi Qingmei stood in front of her opponent, her cold eyes challenging. "If you want to chase after him, you have to get past me first." She confronted the purple-haired woman and her daughter, while Yi Chengxi quietly stood behind her mother, ready to support. Chu Qing arrived at the airport waiting room, temporarily escaping the siege to prepare for his own plan. At the arrival area, a group of people were waiting. Among them was an elderly woman with silver hair tied up, exuding a calm yet intense aura. Chu Qing immediately sensed a strange, murderous aura. His eyes flashed as he stared at the elderly woman. The elderly woman quickly revealed the aura of a strong internal martial artist, her whole body radiating fiery red energy. Chu Qing judged. She is a master. A purple-haired young man in a suit holding flowers turned around, startled to see Chu Qing approaching. The purple-haired young man angrily exclaimed, "You're not dead yet?" Chu Qing smirked and asked back, "Do you really want me dead?" The purple-haired young man was wary and annoyed, asking, "What are you doing here?" The tension between them began to escalate. Chu Qing activated his murderous aura, declaring coldly, "Today's target is to kill the enemy in front of him." His whole body emitted a fierce, dark energy. The silver-haired old woman dressed in black, later known as Grandma Ju, mocked Chu Qing as just a kid, causing her to laugh, while the purple-haired young man, name unknown, beside her trembled. Chu Qing maintained a firm attitude, affirming that he was completely serious about his declaration of war, directly challenging Grandma Ju. Grandma Ju curled her lips, provocatively retorting, "Do you think you can kill me?" Her confidence showed she was a true master. Chu Qing remained calm, even suggesting moving the location if this place was inconvenient for the duel, showing self-control and readiness to fight. The purple-haired young man shouted a challenge. "Chu Qing, are you tired of living?" He mentioned Grandma Ju as a trump card, demanding Chu Qing kneel and beg for mercy. Chu Qing mocked the opponent's threat. With cold eyes, he declared he would use Grandma Ju's own head to open the eyes of those who underestimated him. Grandma Ju laughed arrogantly upon hearing the declaration. Chu Qing responded coldly, saying he would fulfill her wish. A real battle. The confrontation was about to begin. Both sides went outside. Under the moonlight, Chu Qing faced three people: Grandma Ju, a curly-haired bodyguard wearing black glasses, and the purple-haired young man. The atmosphere was tense like a drawn bowstring. The purple-haired young man continued to threat, recalling how he previously tried to kill Chu Qing with many materials in the car, but failed. He believed this time Chu Qing would not escape. Chu Qing smiled, standing opposite Grandma Ju, and asked directly what rank she held in the Li family. He wanted to assess her strength before the fight. Grandma Ju replied with a sarcastic tone. She proudly said she was fourth in the Li family and declared, "Fear is useless, you must die." Without further delay, Grandma Ju began to cultivate energy. From her hand radiated a powerful blazing red energy, forming a terrifying avatar behind her, symbolizing high-level internal strength. She launched her first move, a giant fiery hand rushing toward Chu Qing. The heat surged, blazing through the street, signaling the fierce battle was about to begin.